Hi everyone, happy Wednesday and happy Builder's Block. Now before I launch into anything, because we've so often had so many issues, technical issues, especially with audio, I just want to do a quick check-in. Can you hear me? Am I too loud? Is the music too loud? Is it too quiet? Let me know where it's at. Let me know how I'm doing. Don't want to do another 7-minute monologue without realizing that my audio isn't on. So let me know how I'm sounding to y'all. And if it's a good level, we can get going. We can get started. All good. I'm seeing all good messages. That's awesome. Very glad to hear. And thank you for that feedback. As always, let me know if it's ever off. But happy Wednesday. We're partway through the week and we're most of the way through the month. And we get to spend some more time together. I'm very excited. I'm very glad for all of you who were able to stop on by tonight. It's always appreciated. And hopefully we'll have a good time. Now, for any of you people, thank you, Mimi. That is a brigantine, a custom Lego ship I built, Imperial ship. So it's to fight the pirates. I haven't yet built a pirate ship. Hopefully that will maybe be a future stream. I actually have a bunch of pieces for it, but I haven't built one yet. But I do have my little brig there to chase them down. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. And for any of you who are maybe new, yes, those are custom sales. Very good eye. I cut them from a shower curtain. But for any of you who are new, this is Builder's Block, one of the many shows available to you on the Transverse Network, where you'll have a whole bunch of different shows, often created or featuring or involving folks who happen to be of trans experience, including myself. I'm Jess. I'm one of the 3 regular builders in this show, though I believe we will be swapping one person for another in the near future. But we each take turns each week showing off some of our creative passions, some of the things we love to build. And while we have people building mecha units and custom Star Wars droids, I love to build Lego things. As we were talking about with the ships and the buildings and so much more, I like to build different custom Lego creations. And so that's what we'll do tonight. I will build some more things. I am working on what I've been calling the trans train. So we'll spend a little bit more time making more cars, more rail cars for the train. But oh, awesome. You'll be building a pirate ship. Now that's risky. I feel like we could be competing then. We can have a ship off. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. They are so therapeutic, aren't they? It's great. And I'm actually thankful for this show. Mimi said Lego building is so therapeutic, and it's one of the reasons this has been awesome, because I've gotten back into Lego building, which I find kind of comes in waves of commitment and involvement in it. And having this show as kind of a reason to keep me engaged is a fun thing. It's a fun way to stay connected to something that I do enjoy so much. Yeah. All right, let's start. I think this will be the most prepared I have ever been for a stream. I believe, I'm putting lots of qualifiers on this because it's entirely possible I'm wrong, but I think I correctly pulled together all the pieces I need for what I'm going to be building tonight. I'm looking down at my phone here because I think I can adjust the camera to show it to you. We can do a little side view here. And whenever this catches up, oh, there we go. I can pan down to all of the stuff. So I'm being very bold tonight. No Heather tonight. I'm not sure, Midvani, who you're mentioning by Heather. Sorry if I missed an earlier conversation, but no Heather tonight. And I guess you could have Builder's Block. I have not used Arduino. I have not been able to add automation. I do have a first generation Lego robotic Mindstorms invention system somewhere in some storage unit. But I have not done as much automation or Technic stuff. The closest actually is the trains, because the train does work. It is a working train. So we can at least do that degree of automation. But But yeah, no, as I was babbling, saying, I think I have everything laid out. And I've even taken it to a somewhat more arrogant step. Some of you who have seen me before might have seen I usually have a big coffee table, pop-up table here, all kinds of extra bricks, all kinds of extra pieces laid out because I don't know what I need in time, and so I kind of grab it along the way. But this time, I think I actually have anticipated everything I'm going to need. So we're going to find out. This is going to be an adventure. I can also say it takes so freaking long. This is why I build without plans, because I can just do, and I don't need to think about that. But since I have people staring at me, I definitely get self-conscious thinking, oh, they're just watching me rummage around looking for a piece that I don't even know if it's there. It is good to be prepared, but I definitely underestimate how long it takes to pre-plan and pre-select. I was up late last night finding all these pieces, but hopefully I found them all, and hopefully we can build them all together and see this come to life. So let's talk about what it is that we're building, what we've been building, and what we're going to be building more of tonight. Man, I could really monologue. I just babble 70 miles an hour. Tell me not only if I'm too quiet or too loud, but if I'm too fast, because that often happens. All right, let me show you what we have done thus far over the last 2 episodes that I have been on Builder's Block. So we started with the engine, the foundation of our train, pushing and or pulling along all the other cars. Now, as I was thinking about this, because I'm planning to do other rail cars aligned to other LGBTQ plus identities, is that maybe this should have been the rainbow and then have other identities. But you know what? I'm trans, so the engine's gonna be trans. We're just gonna go straight at it. Maybe there'll be others. Maybe I'll do a second engine. That can be rainbow, and we can have 2 engines attached to the consist. But this is, I'm saying these words like I know them. I don't really, but this is the engine using the trans colors, the colors of the trans flag. I know different people have different passions about the flags. I do not mean to advocate whether or not you should or should not feel aligned to any identity or any flag of that identity. I happen to find them fun and like them. I got my little ring, got my little Lego necklace. Don't know if you saw that. Got this, I think, at Comic-Con, actually. But yeah, so I enjoy it. So hence my using that theme as a basis for constructing this. But yeah, thank you very much for saying that, Mimi. It's part facade. I mean, I have done some organizational work. This is like the sorted Lego behind me. I have a closet that's all my unsorted Lego, which is 2 to 3 times as much as what this is. So I constantly feel unorganized, disorganized. I have so many other bricks. Like, I keep buying things I know I own, but I cannot find. So organization is a good thing, and I am on my way. Let's be positive. I'm on my way to being organized. Okay, so we talked about the engine. We have the starter of our train. Then last week, we expanded a little bit, and I started working on a car carrier. And when I left, I had built two cars that were meant to be Subarus, playing into some lesbian tropes, different Subaru Outbacks, and then I started to build a car carrier. And the intent was to have like a double level car carrier. After the stream stopped, I couldn't stop. I kept on building. I added kind of a trellis to the car carrier. And the original plan had been like to have all of the colors of the lesbian flag all here represented in this one car. And what I realized is how tall this sucker was getting. So if I have these 2 cars together, try to see how to best, let me see how to best show this off. We'll try an alternate angle here. Yeah, so you can kind of see if I actually made this double decker, it gets a little ludicrously tall. This car is over double the height of the engine. It didn't feel like it was right to me. That might be a more appropriate actual scale, but I didn't like it as much. So I decided instead of doing a single double decker car, I'm going to build 2 car carrier rail cars. One with the shades of pink at the bottom, one with the shades of orange at the bottom, and then various Subarus across it just on the bottom level that are also in the colors of the flag. because that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do at least tonight. That's what I hope to accomplish tonight. And then since I have parts laid out, I'm thinking maybe I'll go faster with this. I also have pieces laid out to make a gender fluid rail car. So I will make a tanker of gender fluid in the colors of the gender fluid flag. So that's my ambition if I can get beyond the and so that's where I'm like, which I don't know if it's all models of Subaru, but I think just in general, if you're going to have a lesbian car carrier, it's going to have Subarus on it. So that's the thinking. Right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to continue the train by working on first the orange car carrier. I'm going to build 2 more cars. I want them to be more shades of the lesbian pride flag, but I realized it's hard to build some of these things. Like even this pink one, I do lots of substitutions because finding pieces in a dark pink color that I happen to have or that even exist is challenging. They're not always common. Also, I took off the side view mirrors because they didn't fit when they got stuck in there, so they're rattling around inside there. And so I wanted to build, a light orange car, a light pink car. Very difficult to do because, here's the model I want to build, but these pieces aren't necessarily available in those colors. Or if they are, I just don't have them. I placed an order on bricklink.com, so I have more on the way. Sadly, they're not coming till Friday, so I'm going to build 2 white. Well, I already built one. I'm going to build a second white Subaru tonight. I will put those both in here, and then hopefully I'll be able to build a light pink one to replace one of the white ones, and it'll be a little bit more varied car colors in the carriers. Jessica, I just don't get the Jeep Wrangler thing. You talk about it all the time. I'm not. Maybe other people can validate. So my friend Jessica is in the chat, our friend, and she insists that Jeep Wranglers are notoriously lesbian vehicles. I'm not aware of that as a stereotype, but give her some love if you know that to be true. I'm not aware of that. But yeah, the dark pink and light pink are not. There's not a lot of part variety in those colors. I'm sorry, going back for ideas. Thank you. And awesome, Forrester. The Legos are chaos. They easily get to be chaos. Just in case I run out, I do have a bin ready to go of other pieces. An unsorted bin underneath here if I need to go to it to fill in the gaps. Sorry, just catching up on comments. The Legos are amazing. Thank you, Taylor. Very true. So true. And Mimi, you can try to drink the gender fluid. I think it's whether or not you can handle it. That's always the challenge, right? There's only certain of us that can manage to go through the gender fluid absorption process. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just babbling now. Let's start building, huh? Let's get going. I think I'm gonna, because building this frame, I discovered I built the frame and it's difficult. I had to break it back down to get the cars in. I had to break it back down to get the cars out. So I'm gonna build car first, build carrier, build cars into carrier. It'll be a good process. We have our pink, we have our orange, and then last night to make sure I had the right pieces, I built one white one at the same time as I picked out copies of all the pieces to build a second one. So that's the plans. Do any of the Lego flags? I think so. I think there's, and obviously this is not a place where I can claim to be an expert, but you know what? Let's go to the official source, which will be whatever Google search shows up when I Google here. All right, where's my mouse? There's the mouse. This is my site. If you've not been to it before, justjust482.com. Thank you to the Traders Network for letting me post a copy of my appearances. I've been adding them to my YouTube channel more just so I can have a record of them. I can have kind of a library of my past shows, but I also add them to this little carousel on my site, which is also fun because I have not done direct coding myself in some time. I used to be a developer, and then branding identity, and then user experience, and now it's kind of more generic oversight. It's kind of fun to go back to the roots and build a site again. Cool. Why are we making houses and buildings out of giant Legos? That, I think I have seen that, and there is actually a Lego house, I believe in Denmark, that is large scale, but I don't know what the practical ramifications of it. And Jessica, you're still kind of crazy, but Jeep Wrangler's number 2. Wow, Justice. All right. You have just made my life so much harder. You have fed that insight into, she's not gonna let that one go for a while now. Great. All right, we want to do this. All right. So different LGP, I cannot see TQ flags. So I'm looking at the OBS depiction of the screen that's over there. And it's slightly fuzzy, so it's not always easy to make out what's going on the screen here. Let's go see what this is. So this is what I was picturing. Right, which one is this? This is, it's not gender fluid, but it's related. Pansexual. Okay, pansexual appears to have some teal in it, so there's one. So whoever has teal Lego, pansexual. Polysexual also has a color that's pretty close to teal. It's a little darker, but yeah. And, here's the colors. I'm going off for, there's a simpler version sometimes, but I'm going for this sort of full, all of the colors version of the flag. I was thinking gender queer is just purple, not teal. Because this one's also, light purple is also a hard color to come by in Lego. And, and then this is the colors of the tanker I'm going to be hopefully building if I can get through it, through the car carrier tonight. All right, cool. So, back to me and back to building. I did not have to do them in that order. I don't know why I did both those screens, but here we are. As I get going, I'm gonna crack one open. Not that you have to, but this is part of my relaxation. I feel like lately I've been going back and forth between beer and cider. You used to do wine at the very start, but lately it's been feeling like a cidery adventure. Plus, I feel like these cups I'm a little less likely to spill. New glass, by the way. So, hey, cheers. Okay, I'm going to pull the pieces from over there to over here, and then we will start building. Alrighty, so the goal here is to recreate this using hopefully the stuff in these 2 trays down here. So let's see how well I can remember this. By the way, I can't claim pure credit for this design. I've done a lot of SUVs very similar to this, but there's some aspects of this front that kind of look like they more closely resemble the Subarus of real life. And I got this, I Googled Lego Subaru, and there was a result that's very similar to this, so I just tried to study the picture and ape it, but I don't want to claim credit that this is, at least the front of the car is not my design. Hey Ashley, thank you so much for stopping by. Always awesome to have you, and always awesome to have your critiques, so if you notice anything going awry, please let me know. Ooh, I'm shaking the whole camera. Ashley, you also missed it. Someone fed Jessica's perception that Justice did, told Jessica that she's right, that Jeep Wrangler is a lesbian car. So we're going to have to deal with that. Just want to let you know that devastating news so you can prepare yourself. Okay, so silver. That would be cool. I want to do a silver Airstream, Lego Airstream at some point. Again, it's tough to do. Silver is not a hugely available piece and not in a huge number of kinds of pieces. So that can be challenging, but that's one of my goals. Excuse me. All right, so this card here. So these 2 little trays. Got this recently. This is part of the Target Lego collection. Got these little handy dandy trays. But theoretically, all the pieces I need are in these 2 trays. Let's find out if I got this right. Alrighty. So, as I do this is big news. I was actually going to make a bigger deal about this at the start, but then I heard we crossed a milestone, so I didn't get to lobby as hard. So I'm going to now, instead of lobbying one of you fine folk to become our 1500 subscriber, we passed that milestone. We're now at 1,502 followers, not subscribers, followers of this channel. 1,502 followers, which is awesome. It's amazing. So now you're not going to push us over the 1,500 line. Now you're going to put us on the path to crossing the 2,000 follower line. So if you are not already a follower, please consider hitting follow. You'll not only get to see this great show, you'll get to see so many other great productions done by the Transverse Network. And we can always tell you more about those. You can always hop into our Discord and learn more directly about them and all the great things you can get to experience if you choose to follow. Yay, have a follow. Follows are awesome. Much appreciated. All right, so I keep saying I'm going to build, and then I keep not building. Let's build. All right, so what do we have here? We have doors, and we have wheels and wheel wells, but we're going to start with we're going to start at the very beginning. We're going to start with the base of the car. Now, for the other two cars, these two cars, I used like a sort of a single big giant piece. There's the follow. Oh, we got more than a follow. We got a gifted sub. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Logic Buster. So sweet of you. And 25 so far. That is awesome. Thank you for gifting that. That is so cool. And you're right, Mimi. We're going to double all these numbers this year. But thank you for gifting that. That is so lovely of you. Right. Okay. So I am building the base of the car. So we're going to put these two things together. It's going to be a little off center. That's okay. All right. I'm trying to remember which order I did this in. Right. Let's do these pieces all in there. Right. Did I just put the gray in there? I must, yeah. All right, I'm going to start with the front of the car because it's one of the more finicky parts of things. So we are going to go up to the front. And I might study this one just to try to remember what the heck happened to make it all come together. Because it is a little bit more complex than what's usually done to be able to do this sort of double grill thing and these lights down here. Yeah, here, let me do that. I'll pull together. So there's a few elements going together into this. All right, boom, boom. I just heard another sound. I don't know if that was another follower or something. Sorry, I wasn't looking, but thank you for whatever action just happened that I missed. So I'm going to put together a little front bumper here. So we got the little curved bumper. I actually ordered more of these curved pieces. I didn't have them with the other ones I built, so I could do this kind of front end I didn't get to do with the other two cars. I did something similar, but it's not the same. And so I did want to try to pull off what I pictured and what I'd seen someone else achieve. So I have this little headlamp piece, but instead of putting the light on the front, like you might think, I'm putting it on the top, and that's because we're going to turn it on its side and clip it onto the bottom of this. And now it's that little bottom running light. So it's a neat little different use of a otherwise standard piece. That's right, it's supposed to snow this weekend. I know some people are understandably are bummed out by snow. Since I don't really leave my apartment, and when I do, I take public transportation often, I freaking love it because it's just pretty. And it does not really get in my way, which is a very selfish thing or selfish way to look at it, but I would be lying if I said otherwise. I enjoy the snow. All right, I'm going to put these parts up here. And this little bit is where I'm going to be attaching some stuff that's put on its side. That makes it a little bit more involved. So I just need to remember how it goes on. If I can maybe take this off. Right. Okay. Okay, here's the deal. We are going to take these pieces, these little angle pieces, I don't know if you can make them out here, right? And we are going to attach them in a very different sort of way. We're going to put them on their ends here. But I'm trying to play around the lights. I have all these different little purple accent lights around the room. I still wanted to use them, but when the top lights are purple, I know it can sometimes change the color of things. So I have the top lights as white. I actually have a second light here that might help. So let me know if this looks better, maybe from the past, if you can remember. Now, of course, everything's out of focus. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus. What the? It got worse? Why would? Oh, all right. There we go. Weird. Okay, so got the little piece on its side here, shaking things up. I will then take this 1x6 plate and put it across the bottom. Oh, geez. And then snap it all off. And then I will take 2 of these plates and stick them together, and then stick this little angled short panel on the side, and then I'm going to attach it on there as well. And now there's this little lip that's attached and pointing forward, and this is where, when we take these pieces that were lights on their side, I can attach them to this plate, but it slides over top of the panel. And this is something, we have that kind of grill depth thing going on there that would not otherwise be possible and not conventionally possible. So by doing all those different angles for those bricks, we get that kind of effect, which I think is pretty darn nifty. And now we will do the grill on the front of the car. And now the lights. And so I'm going to take this and this, these, boom, boom, boom. There's the last one. Boom. All right. Slush puddles are not fun. That's fair. Again, it's one of those things you can avoid if you just don't leave your apartment, but that's probably not healthy. And we will be leaving the apartment because I know we'll go out and do stuff. I have broken a piece on stream. They're pieces that actually are kind of notoriously bad for breaking, and those are the reddish brown Lego pieces. Whatever additional chemicals are used to make the ABS plastic that color of brown, what's called reddish brown, also made a lot of those pieces weak, and they break very easily, notoriously easily. Same thing with the dark brown colors. So I have broken some in the stream. I don't think I've talked about it. I kind of just brushed them off to the side and grabbed replacements, but that has happened on stream, and even more in real life, unfortunately. I think they've done things to fix it, but I'm not quite sure what. But yeah, it's a known. It was at least a known issue. Sorry, I'm also reading back on. A belligerent soup. I agree that snow is fine and sub-zero temperatures suck, and that's actually something I feel very strongly about. If it's going to be sub-zero, I feel like it has to also snow. Sub-zero and no pretty snow, that's just wasted opportunity. That's just evil. So I carry that correlation even a little bit farther myself. All right, putting on the turn signals and the headlights here. All right, and then I'm going to take some more little headlight pieces here and here. Put that there and there. Put that there and there. And now we kind of have the front of the car. Ta-da! I will put in some wheel wells, that, that. And we'll put in some of these inverse slope pieces. I don't know if you remember this from last time. It was some of the stuff I had to jury rig for some of the other colors, but these let you have what appears to be a smooth surface while not sticking out and blocking the wheels underneath that a full 1x2 brick without the slope would do. So those slopes let you go right up against the wheel wells and have that nice complete look. And we will put in these little panels. The nice thing about doing this with the white, because it has such a wider range of pieces available, is that actually we can also do more things with how people can go and fit inside it. You can potentially have 2 people fit side by side with this, and I'll show you how when we get a little bit farther on. But something that's not possible in a lot of the other colors because of the elements available would not allow them to fit side by side. Their arms would run into each other and they would crunch up the car. That's a technical term there. All right, putting on back. I'm sorry about that, Mimi. That is that's a pretty brutal experience. And I guess if you hear something in the wind shouting "finish her," then you should be really scared. All right, I like how the recordings of these after the fact will make no sense, and we're referring to things that are not captured in my video, my recording of the stream. So I'll be randomly alluding to Mortal Kombat without any context. How do I do the slants for off colors? Great question. The way I mostly did it was something like this. So we have this piece, these sort of headlamp pieces that aren't indented. They're smooth, sort of full brick with just a stud on the side sticking out. And so I have some of those in colors, and so you can kind of see for the dark pink, that's the one that's, there's one facing out for the side view mirror, but there's also one just straight up and down with the stud going forward. And then that little gap filled in there is using a cheese wedge piece, which is one of these pieces, one of these kind of angled pieces. And so this angled piece attached to this, all of the same color, and then put in that place, basically fills in the same gap as the full inverse slope. So it's a way to kind of jury rig. It's something that you don't always want to do because you kind of lose a stud attachment point on top because there's no second stud, so it's not always as strong. And also these two pieces are often valuable and harder to come by in most colors. So it's sort of you don't want to necessarily waste them versus having inverse slope. But for some colors, the inverse slope doesn't exist, so you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta compromise. All right, what else did I do here? So I do have these outward facing ones, and that was, the intent is that's where you attach a side view mirror. I found out the side view mirrors don't really mesh well with the car carrier, so I'm not gonna put anything on there, but that's what would go there. And then we'll throw in, we can actually do more on the dash. You can put in controls, all kinds of things like that. I'm being a little bit lazy and fast, not just putting a steering wheel in there, but you could, put in a little dash there, controls behind the wheels, make it a little bit more completely filled out. And maybe I'll do that. We'll see where I can easily have it hand to do it. I'm now going to put these little jumper plates in here. And these, if you've seen them before, are ones that are kind of like a 1x2 plate, but instead of 2 studs on top, they just have one in the middle that let you set everything off 50%. I'm going to put a whole bunch of these, 8 of these, into the base of the car here. You can see where I'm doing that. And then I will show you why I'm putting these all in here. It's not as effective in the back, but I'm still just putting them in just in case, or just for consistency. Can't quite put in the back of the car. Oh, I'm sorry, I put in the back of the seats. And now, let me go grab a minifigure and show you how this can work thanks to those jumper plates. All right. Some two very rapidly assembled people. We will throw some pants on that person. We'll throw some pants on that person. We'll give this dude with a beard a hat, and we'll give their friend an identical hat. But by using these jumper plates, usually in a lot of these cars, because their base is 2 studs wide, right? The people are like kind of 2 studs wide, but the whole person's actually more like 3 because of their arms sticking off to the side. So you can't put 2 people side by side, right? They smush in there. You can't quite fit all the people in. So you can't. Most Lego cars, you always just have one driver in each row because you can't fit them side by side. It's not possible. The jumper plates let you kind of offset the person. You can maybe raise up their arm a little bit, but suddenly you may position the arms one underneath the other, but you can actually have 2 people kind of sitting 5 studs apart, occupying 6 studs of space. And the panels on the bottom that we did on the bottom underneath the door, these narrow parts here, combined with the studs, let you do that, let you offset these people so that you can have them side by side. It's a little bit more legit feeling while still just being 6 studs wide as a vehicle. So that's a fun trick. It's not always easy to pull off, especially because having the available pieces, the doors and the panels available in the color you want is not always possible. But when you can make it happen, it is a kind of beautiful thing. So there's our 2 passengers here in the car. Oh, thank you, Taylor. Lovely to say. All right, so where would I left off? Oh, I want to put this in here. And now, just like the old car, oh, geez, which I just broke. I just really broke. There we go. Thought I could probably make that stronger, but we'll go quick. Boom. Now, pretty darn close to done truck, right? We got pretty far, pretty fast. Yeah, now let's work on the back of the car. Now, the back of the car, in some ways, I liked some of the things I did on the early ones better, but for expediency's sake and wanting to have something for you to see relatively quickly, I kind of jury-rigged a different little back of the car here. Making sure I'm just remembering this combination. Right. So I'm going to take this 4 stud wide side piece with the studs on the side of it, put that across the back there. We are going to take these 2 pieces and go out 2. We are going to add some 1x1 plates to the bottom of these little curved pieces. And just like we did with the head, I'm not going to use these in the normal vertical studs on top kind of way. I'm going to do them on their side to make them like this back edge, kind of the bumper going up there. 2 subscribers, woo! Or 2 followers or 2 subscribers? Because either way is pretty awesome. But because I guess if someone's subscribing, they're also following, so it's like a double benefit, and they're supporting the channel, which is much appreciated. All right. I have 1x2 orange transparent things, so we still get the look of the turn signal on the side, but because they're longer, they help kind of secure in the rest of this this structure. Babbling. I am also missing pieces, I'm realizing. Of course I'm missing pieces, but let's see real quick if I can find them rapidly. I might have extras on the side here. I might have planned ahead, but we already hit our first stumble. I didn't get enough of the pieces. Well, follow means you get all of our updates, which is fantastic. Subscribe, you either pay for, or you can subscribe with Prime once a month. You can choose different people. But subscribe also, once the channel's got enough followers, enough subscribers, they can actually start to get money from it. So following is lovely. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. We get to share with you. That's what we hope to do. So you'll get notifications and come back and hear us about us. And then it's never required. It's always important to care for yourself first. But if you happen to have extra moolah and you happen to throw it out there when you subscribe, that's when you're actually paying to not only follow, but you're also doing that extra little bit of support for the channel. So it's never expected, but always delightful. And again, thank you for the gift of a sub that was given out earlier, which is super awesome. But awesome. Well, glad you downloaded it. Glad you also signed up and joined in chat. That's awesome and fun to have you here. All right, let me get these pieces that I'm missing so I can build the bumper. All right. I went over to the side here to get some bricks. I immediately dropped some bricks, and so I'm definitely going to step on that later, and it's going to hurt like crazy. But let's do a little pan. Oh, there was... And you just gifted a sub, so there you go, Taylor. You are now followed and subscribed. And again, Logic Buster, thank you so much. That's so awesome and so generous of you. Wow, that's awesome. All right. My first dive in for all of my theoretically meticulous planning, my first missing piece. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for making me your first live Twitter watch. That's so lovely. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad you're willing to do so. That is super awesome. Oh, you got the nostalgic digging sound. Hey, Pickles. Yeah, it's great. I hope not too loud. I kind of realize that, yeah, that might be abrasive on stream, but yeah, it's not quite right if you don't have a little bit of that digging sound, isn't it? Something's missing when you don't have the digging. All right. And so here's one of those things you can see as I touch the back, it's not perfect, right? It doesn't touch the wheel well, but it doesn't kind of have to, because that edge of the wheel well kind of hides it. So it looks like it's smooth, even though it's not. So another one of those approaches to kind of replace the inverted slope. But even though it has a square edge, it still doesn't get in the way of hitting the wheel. So the wheel can still rotate freely in the back of the wheel well, because that edge doesn't come out far enough to block it. So the neat little trick there. What else am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to take these angled pieces and go down. And then, if you have a sticker for a license plate or something, that can go on this little smooth part. I'm putting in the middle there. I'm going to put these double wide cheese slopes, these little wedge pieces, on the bottom to kind of fill out the bumper. And then we'll take some smooth, transparent red and make the taillights. And boom, there's the back of our car. You could also replace one of this and like put a muffler sticking out or something if you wanted. I went for a smooth look. It's all available. It's all possible. And now we will put the back of the car on. It's pretty simple. This is kind of floating out there. We're going to use some other bricks to attach it to the frame. I'm going to take these pieces that will be kind of like the angled back, and they will hold that back bar in place. If you want to get really crazy, you could probably make like an opening back and do some other funky stuff, but since these are going on a car carrier, I'm not going too elaborate with it. I just want it to look cool and sit there on the car carrier. I'm going to put this back here as rear windows. We'll do some side windows. We will put on more side windows. Musical sounds, the dulcet tones of Legos being shuffled around. All right. So we have to do a little bit of adjustment with our hands since they can sometimes be a tight fit with the yard and the windshield there. Cool. Pretty far along pretty quickly. I have more pieces. I don't quite remember why. We'll find out. Or if I obviously missed something. You know, it's when you're playing ahead that I'm thinking like, all right, these are all the pieces I need. Did I... Maybe that's where I had those instead of the bricks because I miscounted how deep those were. All right. I will now put on the roof and I'll put on the tires. So for this, I did a little quick and dirty roof rack there. And then we will carefully clip it down onto the windows. I'll take these white G-slopes, fill in those gaps, and this sucker is nearly done. I'll just pop on some wheels. This is how it is in a real life factory. They just flip the car over and they plop wheels onto the bottom. That's all it takes. You know, you'd think it'd be more complex, but no. That's car manufacturing right there. 1-to-1 accurate. All right. We have cars. Cars. It's always fascinating what color is my, like this is my old iPhone that I have as a camera here, and it always looks so different from my other camera. Okay. Okay, so we had some good progress here. We have all the vehicles that will go on the car carriers. We have one of the 2 car carriers. Now we need to build the other one. So I'm going to go get those pieces, bring them back over here, and then we'll build that. And we'll hopefully rapidly finish off these 2. And I will be like an all-time record for building. And then I'll realize that playing ahead is a bad thing because I'll run out of content, but we can cross that hill when we come to it. Cheers to y'all. Ooh, 10 hours sleep makes only sounds a day. That's, I'm sure that kind of exists, right? That I don't know what the volume level is for, why am I mental blocking? What's that thing where people make like sound noises or other things? It's a whole ASMR. There's probably a Lego ASMR. I would not be surprised. All right, let's get these bricks. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay, I'm an idiot. I was looking for these pieces in the trays. I forgot that I laid them out to actually make sure I had the right number for it. So I'm like, where are the white framework? And nope, it's already laid out. Okay. Here's another one of these gray bases to build the tray on. These little pre-built things. You can do different kinds of double-decker car, cool stuff. But we are going to kind of ignore this spacing and just kind of fill it in with color and make it flat. There's probably other clever things I could do, but I didn't think about that. I just used it to express the colors of the lesbian pride flag. So let's do it. Now, on the top here is more of a yellowy color than I wanted. I actually want, there's like a, I don't know how clearly the distinction comes out on this, but there's a soft orange and then there's like a dark yellow. I want to use a soft orange. Again, it's one of those things that I just didn't have a lot in the color of the piece type that I wanted. I did find them. They're in that order that's going to come on Friday, but I can at least fill it in with yellow for now and then swap it out maybe later. But I think the effect will still be there. You'll still get the idea of these shades of colors here. So much like the pink one that we are emulating, we're going to do the dark to light bottom up approach. It's awesome reading about these automation players. That's pretty cool. I'm good. I'm glad the pacing's been good. It's always something I worry about. I worry about darn near everything in life, so it's just one of the many things I worry about. Just keep it consistent, really. All right. So pretty straightforward here. It's kind of fun to use some of these colors. So this orange is it's relatively common. The dark color here, I think it's called dark nougat, is more rare and not available as many sets. But luckily I have a small batch of them that I was able to fill in the bottom here. But it's also one of the advantages of doing this with this car is that I could kind of use a relatively small amount to actually express the color pretty vividly without having to consume all of my supply. So that was kind of nice. All right, let's build up what I can on the top here. So kind of mimicking what I did up here. And sorry, I sometimes forget I have to push this farther forward to kind of figure out where my hands are versus the camera. By the way, do you still hear the music? I have it kind of faint to my ears, and so I'm never quite sure how it's coming across on your end, how loud it is. Right now, I think it's between songs because I don't hear anything happening, but I guess a new song starting maybe. I'm starting to faintly hear something now. This is another example. I didn't have 1x2 cheese wedges like I did in pink. So I'm hoping the tires will kind of obscure the fact that these don't go as deep as they do on the pink themed half of the lesbian combo. Yeah, but don't tell anyone. Keep that one secret. That bit of compromise. All right, I'm going to leave a little gap here, but that will make more sense later when we build the framework above this. Oh, I need to leave more of a gap. That's it. There we go. These little things are part of the foundation of these frames, so that's where these little studs are coming into play. Let me think about this. Did I? Huh. Do I have the right number of things? Yes. Just had some extra. All right, good. Alrighty, so, boom. Right? Combined, with their powers combined, they make the lesbian flag. Oranges, pinks, and white in between and out of focus. Come on, camera. Why do you hate me? There we go. Kind of. All right. Music is very faint. Should I creep it up a little bit, maybe? Where's the mouse? How's that? Better? Too much? Let me know. All right. While we debate that, I'm going to build the top trellis here. And I have those pieces kind of laid out, so hopefully this will go relatively smoothly. But I'm going to probably bring them over one at a time just because it'll be a little tough to grab them all. And this was kind of an interesting experiment to build something that was fairly stable on its own, while also being attached just by a couple little clip-on connection points. So this is an experiment, not something I typically do. And not your typical block on top of block stacking. All right. I'll start down at this end and start to add the second layer that will actually hold it all together. And then sorry, I feel like I got very quiet and the music got really quiet. But I think that's more the music. It's on repeat. This is something I got from Harris Heller, who's on, was on Twitch, now is on YouTube. I found his YouTube videos to be very educational on streaming, and he also has a bunch of music that's DRM free, copyright free, so you can kind of stream endlessly. So I downloaded their EDM mix, his EDM mix, and that's what we're very faintly listening to. This piece is kind of neat. This like little cross piece is new, all one piece. Relatively new. I feel like it's still new. So I got a bunch of these, and I don't get to use them all that often, so it was kind of cool to weave them into here, and you'll see how they come into play as I build up a little bit more. Oh, jeez. And good thing it was a lower glass. If that had been a wine glass, I would have spilled like crazy. Goodness, go in there. All right, so now we're gonna have like 2 levels of plates here. And if you remember the contrast between plates and bricks in Lego parlance, that a 3 plates thickness equals a brick. And so we are 2/3 of the way to a brick thick top with this little framework here. But it still has a bit of flex and give to it, right? It's not super strong. This next level is what will give it a lot more stiffness and firmness and let it work a little bit easier. So there we go. Don't hear the music. All right, it's not like it's a big deal, but it is sometimes nice, especially when I'm not talking, to have something. So I will increase. Yeah, but I still have my computer turned down low anyway, because it could be very loud. But whereas for you, that might not be coming across. So I'll increase it a bit. So hopefully that's a little bit better. But let me know if it ever competes with my voice. These songs lately seem to be a lot quieter anyway. Okay, blah, blah, blah. 3rd level of the trellis here. The frame, the whatever you call it. These I'm using smooth tiles. I like often to do what's called the knot techniques, which are studs not on top. I like the smoothness. Some people don't like that. They think it's not true to Lego. Of course, you can just do whatever you like. There's no one right way or wrong way. It's whatever you like. In my case, I happen to. Sometimes just things feel a little bit more finished, a little bit more polished when I don't have tons of studs sticking up, or if they're only in strategic or certain places. So I like to use these snot techniques where you put pieces on their side, or you use tile to kind of seal the top of the structure. Cool. Well, thank you for that kind compliment, Logic Buster. No idea why the music hates me so, but such is life, right? Maybe after this I can try to go direct to the computer rather than trying to do stuff through OBS. All right, well now with these tiles, especially with the cross ones in the middle, this sucker, it's firm. It's not going anywhere. It's not crunching together. It's not bending. It is a solid little structure. It has these little attachment points on the side where we'll attach some kind of hooks to things. We'll actually add some stuff here as attachment points, and we'll have it kind of floating in the air above the orange one, just like it is above the white one. All right, let me take a quick sip. Let me see if I can, just because I want to know how to make this work, just so I can know I have things set up correctly. I don't like adding a bunch of music and then no one can hear it. So I'm gonna try to tweak it on my computer real quick. Come on along. I want to see an unflattering look at my back. Very minor tweak. No idea if that made any difference, but there you go. Music is, in theory, 50% louder, even though it's still very quiet. All right, I'm gonna try to put some cars. No, I'm gonna do this. We are gonna build the frame now that kind of goes on the side here. That will go up and attach to this top trellisy bit. So, those are these pieces. Some of these pieces. Again, where you can actually see them. So there. Put these little 1x1 studs on these little pieces with a hook on the bottom. And this will kind of go as a little base here on the side. I'm gonna put this little angled piece on here, and then it'll kind of neatly kind of fold up and attach to it. And these studs on top actually serve to hold the car in place. I can clip the car onto them and hold it down in there. So it's kind of nice little stuff. Thank you. I went kind of all out. Towards the start of quarantine, Mimi, I moved from the apartment next door. I went from 10B to 10A because I was able to get like a little bit of a deal here. Cool. And that's good, Carrie. And let me know if that seems like a good balance. That seems right to me because I want it to be faintly playing behind me, not competing with me, but I still want you to be able to hear it. So hopefully that's a good balance then. But yeah, with the office, so I moved into this apartment. I was, during the start of the pandemic, the family that lived here left and went upstate. And so it was an empty unit. They completely refurbished it, which was gorgeous. And then no one was living here. So I reached out and said, hey, I'm right next door. I've been here for 12 years. Can I just move next door? Pay a little bit more, but it'd be an easy move and you know me and blah, blah, blah. And we were able to work that out. And so I walked stuff around the corner from one door to the other. I moved into this apartment and it's a lovely place. This one's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. So I got extra space. So this would be the main bedroom, but I decided why have the second biggest apartment in the second biggest space in the apartment be a place where I'm unconscious. So I instead made it the Lego room / office. And so I have personal computer and touch, and I work here and stream here. And then behind me, there's bathroom and a Lego closet, and then what is the remainder of my boy outfits, and also formal work clothes, future work clothes in that closet. So it's pretty fantastic to have this extra space. I'm very, very blessed and lucky to have it. Yeah, and I keep tweaking it, trying to adjust the layouts and add little touches to hopefully make it cool and fun for the stream. Yeah, so thank you for commenting on it, and hopefully it's cool. I'm also open to any recommendations. All right, continuing the base. Go ahead and combine these steps together in advance. And then do a little all right, now what? That to happen vertically. That to happen vertically. I think I just noticed I'm missing a couple studs, so okay, get those real quick. So what I'm doing is doing part of the kind of superstructure going up the side here, the straight up and down part, as compared to the angled parts. Oh, I want different. I want vertical. And so all these different little clips that are going in different directions will attach this to the top of it, and this to the angled piece going up the side. I think at this point I can not only attach these but also put the cars in. So I'm gonna attach that at the edge there, and then it's gonna fold up and clip onto that, so it's sort of extra strong, both clipped and bricked into place. Oh yeah, the yes, cool. Sorry, and thank you. I'm catching up now on some of this stuff. All right, a couple of things. Working back in chat, as Ashley noted, I did not move myself. I mostly moved myself, but I did not move that desk alone, and I did not move my bed alone. Ashley helped me move the desk. Jessica helped me move my bed. So I did have a little tiny bit of help. Tiny little bit of help. Mostly. Okay, other questions. So thank you, and also thank you for letting me know. So Brianna, awesome. When did I start with Lego? I don't remember a time when I wasn't building Lego. It was as young as I can remember. Apparently I did like, I can kind of faintly remember this, I did like Hot Wheels first. I had my beep beeps, and I would line up my beep beeps in long rows down the hallway, and there'd be like, I guess, traffic jams or something in my head, but I would make my lines of beep beeps. So I did start with Hot Wheels, but Legos, like blocks, and then Legos were very rapid evolution, probably with Duplo first. Yeah, so as kind of as far back as I remember, I have always been a fan and avid Lego builder. And people talk about, especially in the adult fan of Lego, AFOL communities, you'll hear about people having dark ages. There are periods when they weren't building before they got building again. Thankfully, I didn't really have much in the way of dark ages. I kept on going right away. And then I didn't really have a pause, a break when I was never building. There were just diminished periods of building, but I was still always usually making something. And it was really the resurgence. And what I see is like the start of like my real current period where I built lots of custom things and lots of different truly unique and larger structures was when Lego came out with the official modular series. They had these, when I say modular, they're buildings that kind of look like this one, where they have a base plate and they have a fixed dimension, a fixed size of the sidewalk, and then they're modular in that you can take the floors off and take the roof off and look inside, but they're still four-sided. They're not like the back's not open, right? The whole building has structure. And when I saw that scale, that became a lot more realistic to me. I'm like, in my head, I can imagine building enormous things, giant office towers, giant structures. And realistically, I was never going to do that because I wouldn't have the bricks, I wouldn't have the space, I wouldn't have the time, I wouldn't have the money. With the modular series, I realized, oh, I can build to that scale. I can do that. And so that was probably 2012 when I think, when I got back into that. You can check on my Flickr, which is available and linked from my website in the creations page. If I can find my mouse and it was working. Ta-da! You can see past modular buildings. And so the time on them is noted. I'm up to 35, maybe almost 40 modular buildings now. I need to go back and check, but tons of modulars. I have a storage unit. It's so true that you ran out of space. I have a storage unit here in the city with all of my built creations, my custom buildings, and then another one in Pennsylvania with all the sets I just purchased for future sale. I went kind of nuts, but there's been articles recently that's a better investment than gold. So and even if it loses value, I still have lots of Lego. So it's a win-win situation. But yes, as Brianna said, Carrie, you can totally get Everyone is Awesome. Hopefully it won't ever be limited, but yeah, it's nothing else really available now. All right, I think I've officially caught up on chat, and sorry I didn't catch up before. Great, so I've put the cars in there. I've actually clipped them into place on these little places. I realized I think this front of the car is a little bit farther forward than this front, so I did take off the license plate of this car so they could actually fit together. And then I can clip on the side here and fold it up, and boom, they're basically kind of locked into place. We can build the rest of the framework around it. Indeed, I don't know how strong it will be, but I'm going to go ahead and try to put this top on. I did work on modular buildings. In fact, that's the current kind of feature is the finished product on the website. At the top here is I had built my courthouse. Not courthouse. Sorry. This is my courthouse. This is my city hall. And so we built this over way too many streams. It took forever just to finish the interior. I didn't anticipate it taking as long as it did. But we finished out the second floor on like 6 episodes. And then now all of the pictures are available. Obviously a preview kind of here on my website, and then a full album available on Flickr. So you can always go check it out at justjust42.com. I don't know why I'm plugging it. It's not like I get any money. It's just fun to have the site exist and and get to share it all. And thank you for being willing to ask and look at any of it. My other plan with that site is as I come out to broader groups of people, I'm thinking that's where I'll point people. So I'm still finishing the trans section of the site to have my story and other resources available. And then hopefully later this year, I'll come out to everybody. I'm out to immediate family. It was actually huge this Christmas. I was with family out in Colorado for the first time presenting as myself. So that was amazing. Still surreal that it actually happened. So now I'm gonna reach out to extended family and then past friends and then all of work. And I've had my 4th session of laser was on Monday. So I'm hoping a few more sessions I'll feel like I'm ready to present all the time. That's my personal goal, aspiration. I don't know when I'm going to fly Rosa out. I don't know when Rosa will fly out without me having to fly her out, because I doubt that's cheap. But we can talk about it. We can figure it out. We can find a crossover thread. All right, let's do the side panels, the side frames, because you can see this is what's there. It's not. It's a little bendy. If I can move this back and forth, I can still. It's a little loose. So the side angle pieces help give it a little bit more firmness and hold it in place. And if you actually did want to put a second level of vehicles on here, I think you have to have those, like this one, to be firm enough. So let's do that. Now at the ends of this, you see how these little rounded pieces. That's because I found these sides required a little bit more give, a little more kind of rotation sometimes to fit smoothly. And so the round pieces let it still be solid while allowing a little bit of give that maybe a straight edge piece would not allow. So that's why I have these little rounded pieces here and there to allow for that bit of flex in the structure. So we have a hook down here, hook up here, and this will bridge this gap between them. So even this tile has a little bit of a rounded edge, again, so it can kind of, this bottom bit can flex around while still being solid. So I found is the bottom part sticks out a little bit farther than the top, but I can angle these little edge pieces and it will still be there and be a firm connection. Ta-da! 3 more to go. All right, folks, we're making good time here. I think this is gonna work out. The last one's a little bit more of an experiment since I think I planned it out well, but I've not actually built it like I built this. So there's not as much of a model to follow. So a little bit more of an experiment, but I am cautiously optimistic the gender fluid tanker will be able to be filled up on time. That feels lewd. I don't actually know how it's lewd, but it feels lewd. Sorry, I kind of forget. I'm assembling it too low from the camera. Can't see what I'm doing. This heats up fast. I got a little bit heat coming out of the radiator because my building has steam heat. It always tends to be warm. I often keep the radiators off because it's just kind of hot all the time. But it's gotten cold enough lately that I have actually wanted to turn the radiator on, occasionally a little bit. But today was one of those days where it felt slightly cool for much of the day, and then once this started and I turn on the lights, it does start to build up. Just so you can kind of see, right, when I turn off the lights. get a lot darker. So these suckers do pump out a fair amount into the air here. All right, let me add this car back in that I had taken off previously, or taken out previously. Or I took the pink one out so I could put a white one over here. So let me just quickly wedge that sucker in there. Whoa, all right, that camera froze. Let's, oh, low battery, all right. Apparently I've been plugged in so long the battery is probably half dead anytime I unplug it. Well. Oh, you know, I didn't do the actual bogies on the bottom of the car. Probably important. Have some wheels on there, right? It's not really gonna connect when there's nothing to connect it with. So let me get those pieces real quick and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and build maybe a bunch because I have some for the other car too. I think I have enough for another car. So connect that. I'm gonna build 4 of these for the 2 cars that are to come hopefully in the totality of this evening. I am missing a whole bogie. Well, darn. All right. Oh, no. Rolled away. Whew. Factory line these suckers. So what I'm doing is these pieces have a little groove in the middle, so I have a plate to hold them together to each other. This is to fill in the back. This has the magnet on it so they can click together. And then once I have all the magnets on, I can plop these plates with a little pin in the middle on top, which will connect them to the train bases and let them freely rotate. Or not freely rotate, rotate some. Bend to the side a little bit. All right, so we have 2 for the last car and 2 for this car. Nope, this car. Ta-da! Here we go. From orange to pink, pink to orange, white in the middle. Present to you a 2-car long representation of the lesbian pride flag. All right, so the trans train grows ever longer. Let's see in our last like 30 some minutes here if I can build a gender fluid tanker rail car. All right. So I have a few few things in mind, a few attempts in mind that hopefully will make this real. And it's going to be a little bit of an experiment, but we are going to do that together and see how well this can work. So I want the colors to go blue, black, dark pink, magenta, white, light pink in representation of that flag. And I want to kind of have a little bit of a rounded look. So I have an experiment. I have it in my head. I've not built it in real life, so we'll see how well this looks. But this experiment of how to do that rounded feel, with hopefully some interesting building techniques. Alrighty. Real drag. Nice, nice. Wow, that's great. Alright. So, excuse me. A couple little spaces in mind here on how this will go. So I'm going to do a combination of pieces that are upright and pieces that are upside down to pull this off. And we're going to see how well this works. Oh, I actually did have more. Use our trusty brick separator to move these pieces. So I'm raising these pieces up because there's some pieces that will kind of bump into these studs if I don't. And hopefully this will be the right height and look all right. We're experimenting left and right with what I'm going to try to do here. But I'm building these little pieces that are upright, right? The studs are on top. They're pointing up. And I'm going to do some other things that are going to be upside down, and hopefully they will still nonetheless mesh well together and give us a pretty nice little rounded effect. This piece is wider than I thought. That's not going to work. That's okay. See, this is the discoveries you make along the way. This is like the bottom of a plane, and it's 8 studs wide. I only want this to be 6 studs wide. So that flew out the window, but that's okay. I think I have enough pieces to do it a different way. So in this case, well, I thought I tried to prepare for more than one outcome because I wasn't quite sure if I was going to have it all right. All right, we're going to do it this way. Oh yeah, I think I still have enough pieces. All right, so I'm going to take these curved pieces and kind of put them on upside down here. Well, I mean, they're right side up now. They will be flipped over upside down in a minute. So this is my attempt to create the curved bottom of the little tanker here. And yes, we are totally free-ranging, wild and crazy freestyle here. This is a whim and a prayer. Wing and a prayer? Wing and a prayer, I guess, is a song, but I'm going to do whim because this was mostly whim and whimsy than intention. Do. You have to say do every now and then. It's legally required. Do. So these little curved pieces actually fit inside the slope and let you kind of fill it in. I can put a couple more plates on top of here, which I now have extra of because that other thing didn't work, and make it look solid. All right, and then loop. Look at that. Kind of laid right in there. And I think it's tall enough that I can put something on top of that and it will fit together, but that will be the next portion of the experiment that we will get to test out here. How's everyone's Wednesday going, by the way? You're all doing all right? It's a busy day, hard day, good day, boring day. Now awesome because you're watching Legos Day. All right. So here is you know, that lays in there nicely. Now I believe I can put these little bricks on top of these portions. Actually, I can double them up. No, I can't. They still won't let me. I can put these things on top of these portions and kind of do an extra little bit of firmness. But it's going to be hard to build on top of this because some of these are upside down pieces, right? There's no studs on top. So that's where these plates come in to kind of fill in the gap. Let's see how well this attaches. All right, that's pretty solid. Nice little bottom to our tanker of gender fluidity. So we're off to a good start. And all of these are basically extra, or maybe will be used for filler somewhere else. So now I have another tray that is overflowing with the middle and top. All right, and so now the plan is, this will get a little repetitive, but again, this is an even darker pink. It looks almost like peach on here, but it's actually a very dark, like magenta, that I did not have a ton of. And so it's probably be a little bit more repetitive. I just had these little angled pieces that I'm basically turning in so you don't see the angle part, to fill in the body of the tanker here. I'm using these 2 wide ones, especially here where I had that seam between those 2 plates to kind of clip it down, and then these single 1x2 slopes to fill in all the rest. Cool. Yay! I'm glad it could not be better, and that is a great evening. That is wonderful to hear. Do, 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 do. All right, by the way, at the end of this, for Midvani or any other mod, I believe I saw in the thing, in the mod view, how to raid. So I think I have a friend who is streaming tonight, I believe, a non-binary person that we've gone raided before. So if it's cool, I want to try to raid them, and I think I know how to do it, but it's okay if not. Let me know if that is not cool to do, or if there's anything I need to know, or if I don't have that ability and I just have a lot of false confidence. But I want to try to do that at the end. Just wanted to say that now because I've forgotten that in the past. We'll see if that is a possibility. All right, once again, I put in way too many pieces just in case. Extra precautions. All right, and so while this is kind of weird and random on the inside, from the side, it should be like a strip of magenta, that next color going from blue to black to hot pink to white to light pink. So hopefully we're on the way to a properly gender fluid looking gender fluid tanker. I'm also gonna grab some blue I have as kind of ends of it. We'll see if this can be a bit of an experiment as well. I might be able to start to attach some things along the way as we go here. I'm sorry, I always hold it too close to me and then you can't see. I'm sorry. Yell at me if I do that wrong. Keep building. I'll keep building this. I'll keep building this. We can finish this off, I think. That can be where we call it if need be. All right, what do I want to do next? Huh. A little shorter than I thought it would be. That's okay. Yeah, I'll just do the right ones. I don't need those. Okay. Right. So on the ends, I have these little black caps that I was thinking that kind of would almost look like they're sticking through end caps to the rounded portion. And so I want to attach them with this. I'm trying to find the right height to do it, but also if I can connect this to this at all and give it a little extra firmness, a little extra rigidity to the structure. But maybe I don't need to do that yet. That can maybe come later. You can find the right height to do that at. I'll keep going. I'll keep going up and then we'll figure out the ends. All right, so now I'm going to add these white smooth tiles on top, and you will see why in a moment. This is not madness, this is intentional. Making it smooth on top. All right. So, part of the plan coming here is that I have some light pink pieces. Not as many, because I use a lot of them in my trans train, but I have some. And I want to create these ends of the train that will be kind of a combo. Oh, right, this white. That will have these smooth parts on top and then these white bits also sloping down the side to kind of create that rounded look with these side pieces. And so then that's going to kind of lay on top of here. So that's why I have these smooth tiles, is so that I can just lay on top and it'll be connected up from the middle to clip this into place. So that is the plan, that is the ambition here of how this is going to play out. So I just realized I had solid ones, but I think I actually want thin ones. More light pink. No, I would love to do non-binary. I'd love to do asexual. I'd love to do, I was thinking, I'm joking about this, but it's also something I think I have the colors for. A bear car, which I could have like a zoo car and do in the colors of the bear flag. Because I have some friends who are bears. Yeah, so I feel like I can do a couple different fun combinations of identities that were, if I can come up with clever combinations of how to interpret them, but also if I actually have the colored pieces to make them happen, which is always a challenge. But that's, I love the ideas. It's awesome to share the ideas here. If I forget them, if you're willing, you can also consider adding them into the Builders Block thread on the Discord channel. We can collect other ideas there, and then I can keep on expanding the trans train with other LGBTQ identities. From your thoughts and suggestions, we can come up with some cool ideas together. So please consider not only sharing them here, which is wonderful, but also putting them there so I can keep track of them and remember them. Sorry, I'm just pausing trying to remember what was next. I actually think, right, these pieces go on the ends. Yes, this is right. So I'm using these smaller slopes to kind of fill in where I didn't have enough of these big full filled in slopes on the ends here. Right now these are a little bit loosey-goosey, but they'll get firmer as I go. I'll add more structure to them and make it more solid. That's definitely going to be some of the on-the-fly building, the how to make it solid. Don't have a firm plan, but I was not worried that I couldn't come up with a plan to fill these things up with brick and make them nice and sturdy. Cool. That's awesome. Well, it's awesome to have some more MB folks here. I was actually just talking about that in a work context. In a couple of weeks, we're going to have the town hall for our LGBTQ organization at work. And so I'm helping out with communications for it. And we were talking about what to do at the town hall. And one of the things we want to continue work on is our pronouns initiative. So I sent out an email from Open to all of our members. Open is the name of our LGBTQ organization, the Out Pfizer Employee Network. And sent out a note letting people know about, like, you know, here's this initiative. We want you to use pronouns in your email signatures and on your business cards and when you on your Zoom calls. And I even built a web page at www.pfizer.com/pronouns. So it's available publicly, but we can also link to it from our email signatures, and that way you can have a little, here's your pronouns, a little what's this link, you can click it and it can educate people if they were not familiar with why pronouns are being shared. So we're going to talk about that, like sort of what's the next phase to keep momentum going with that initiative after we send out the initial email. And so I'm going to talk about what it means to me. We'll have a friend who's an ally who she just was already using the pronouns in her signature, so she can share like why she did that and what their thinking was and what it means to her. Hopefully get someone from our diversity, equity, inclusion department. So they can talk about what they'll do to help advance things. It should be cool, but I really wanted a non-binary person to join as well, to be able to, or gender non-conforming, to be able to speak to their experience with pronouns. And unfortunately, the one person I knew at work who was non-binary left the company. They got another job, so happy for them, but sad that they're no longer there, and left me realizing, oh shoot, I don't actually know anyone else in the company who can do that. So we're asking around, but for the moment, I'm expecting that we sadly won't have someone explicitly there, so I might have to hopefully not egregiously or incorrectly do a little sort of speaking for, I guess, to make up that unfortunate personnel deficit that we presently have, or that we know of. You know, it's always the challenge. There's probably tons of people at work who identify that way, but if you don't know who they are, it's like they're kind of effectively invisible. And so helping people feel comfortable to share their stories and feel comfortable to be out, or even just to be able to say, hey, I am over here, and we can say, oh, there you are, and build those connections. Hopefully that can be a part of what we achieve in this new year. All right, I'm babbling once again, but I think I've been making progress as I did. So I'm lining the interior of this with some brick. We have some brick on the inside of this. And so I didn't fill in the ends specifically because I want to see about connecting them to the blue bits, but look at that. It's a tall oblong container of gender fluid, but it's there. And this top square part, I swear, will make sense in a second. I'm feeling good about this. It's coming together. It's coming together. Got some real structure going on. All right, so I'm gonna again do some little snot techniques to fill in the top here. I'm going to fill in some things. Oh no, good. I was gonna say, am I short one tile? All right. I'm feeling good about this. This is coming out a little better than I was anticipating. It's very bright. Sorry, I'm conscious of that. I feel like it. Let's see, I'll turn off the light. See if that. I don't know if that actually helped. Maybe a little bit. You can kind of see some of the color differences there between the light pink and the white. But yeah, this is coming along. That's great. I'm glad that they're at least optional on the template. That's something I want to do too. I was in talks with our brand identity people to update our identity website so that the business cards would just have them on there by default, and people can voluntarily choose to use it or not, but it would just be there without it necessarily being a special invitation prompt to use it. Sorry, now I'm trying to think about how to connect this. Oh, I think we do it. Okay. Okay, so to be blue. Yeah, okay. Or should it be a little lower? Maybe it should be a little bit lower. All right. Sorry, talking myself. I'm gonna get some blue plates. All right, 15 minutes. I think we can pull this off. Back. I'm making, so this little bit on the side here is what I'm going to attach this little end cap on. So I was trying to figure out what height I wanted that, because it's obviously shorter than the whole thing, but I think it might be okay to kind of suggest it's like tapering down through the blue holder on the side. So I didn't want it to be a whole brick taller. I think I just want one plate taller. So we'll try that out. And I have enough for a second plate if need be. Now I need something to go inside this. I use just red because you can't really see it. All right, I think if you can imagine this, like, there's gonna be a solid blue, like, structure here that, like, this is like tapering down through, then I think that will look kind of nicely centered on it. So we'll do that. I think that's the right height. All right, so let's build up more of the side. I'll try to attach it. Yeah, inside here. They shouldn't attach it. It's not. So on the bottom here, where those studs are upside down, they're kind of pushing against studs below. I'm not sure if they're raised up enough. Like this is, I'm trying to make like a smooth connection here, and the inside's a little bit higher than the outside. I'm not sure if it's, I don't want to like break things, create too much tension. I want them to connect together because it'll be a more solid build, but I don't want to, well, like I just said, I don't want to break anything. All right, let's, I'm not going to give up hope yet. Oh, it's shorter, okay. I'm just adding more blue brick on the sides of this, that little end-on piece. And then we want this to smoothly connect, and it will be hidden, so I'm going to use more of the red here. Nice. So now these are physically connected to each other. So a little firmer. And then yeah. It's fun to slide back and forth on the chair. The little swooshy, swooshy swoosh. All right, wolf. So this is the downside of me already attaching it. It's firmly attached. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, it's like I'm not sure if they're fully seated or if it's just plain too tall to be seated, which is possible just because of those. I'm sort of doing those upside down pieces, which are now a little unnatural in its attachment points. So maybe it's just not a possible, but it's close enough. It seems to be working out now, so we'll cross our fingers on not like actively breaking my Lego pieces. All right, I'm gonna fill in. It's not gonna be seen, but I still kind of want it. I'm gonna be a little perfectionist and do white. No. Oh, sorry. Whoa, my Stream Deck just crashed. Weird, okay, it restarted. Hopefully I'm still here, you still see me, everything's okay. That was a little freaky. Thank you, Mimi. Alright, I think we're still okay. Okay, that just freaked me out. My whole like Stream Deck just sparked and then like, it didn't actually spark, but it flashed and then restarted. Ugh. I just got electric shock, so I guess related. All right. So put these little end caps on here, and then the smooth bits, pink bits on top. And boom. It's off-white. It's an old white piece, but that's okay. It won't be seen. I can keep on building up now. Not sure how tall I want to go with this. Yeah, I guess it's tall enough. Alrighty. Pardon all the guesswork. I keep pausing as I'm like, is this what I want to do? Is this what I want to do? But I think it's what I want to do. I think it's coming together. What do I want or need? Yeah, we'll do that. I'm kind of making snap decisions. I'll put these hooks there and then I'll attach lights to them. Like I'm trying to kind of randomly come up with how to do this with the pieces that I randomly grabbed last night in a sleepy fog. Nice. Hopefully that kind of looks semi-sensible, right? Kind of. I'm gonna fill in this top with something, and I'm gonna polish out the ends. I'm gonna add bars on the side. Right. So let's see how many of these hooks I have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's right. I remember last night I could only find an odd number of those kinds of hooks. So we'll do 8. So space out 4 evenly on each side. Semi-evenly. No, wow, that's actually even. All right, sweet. Accidental symmetry. Like I could have done the math and be like, all right, how far is this far to be blah, 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 but I did not. We're still winging it. Still freestyle. All right. What do I want to do next? I have 2 of these. I can do that. And then do that. All right, these are 8 long. Kind of like the little filling attachment points or something. I don't know. Feels like that. A little nipple on top of the gender fluid card. Got this little container of different sized rods. For what I'm thinking for the sides here. That's a ski pole. Another ski pole. I have a lot of ski poles. Okay, I'm just trying to find right now 8 of the same kind of thing. Preferably in black to keep our color scheme. How we all doing? Sorry, hair got in there. Thank you for liking the top. I'm glad it's coming together. I'm glad you agree it's coming together. Because that admittedly can be a subjective thing. Side note, thank you again so much for stopping by. It's so awesome to have you here, especially those of you who are new. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun and found it at least somewhat entertaining and or, I don't know, educational or something. I don't know. But it was a delight to have you here. Yeah, and to get to share this with a few more folks. And I mentioned that Discord channel, that we have a Discord channel for the Transverse. If you're, I know one of you already said you're already in there, but if you're not, you can hop on in. There is a builder's block section, so I get to show off what I do, what I like to create. We all create and build things in different ways, and if there's something that you like to create, a passion of yours, I'd love to see that, and I'd love to for you to know that you can feel comfortable to share that there, and we can see what we all build together. So feel free to drop in and share. All right, I'm gonna do these shorter ones because the other ones I could find 8 of, or at least 8 of. I need a little bit more actually. I'll do these little things at the side, which I think are nice little finishing. This looks semi-official detail. Right, that feels like a thing that rail cars like this would have, right? These little, almost like warning, safety, whatever rods going on. And I can also put some bars up here. So there's little rails all over the place. Put all these back that we didn't use. And then I'm going to quickly grab some lights, throw on some tires, and we can call it. One, two, three, four. Pretty sure I had some extra orange lights in this. Yes. All the easier not to have to go rooting around. I have them already from a prior potential design. Do they want matching colors? These are lighter. All right, 3 lighter, 3 darker. Which one's next? Darker. No, lighter. Boom. All right. Add on these 4. Thank you, Midvine, for sharing the discard. The don't rot. That's right. All right. I have to still obviously put on the bogies and maybe a little bit of undercarriage, but I think that is a pretty solid tanker of gender fluid right there. Again, on the bogies, and then got rolling, and then I usually want to attach something underneath here so it doesn't look as, empty. I might need to have a little more time to find the right pieces to make that happen, but I think the idea has been expressed. I can fill in the bottom of this. Plus, we are basically at time anywho, but we accomplished a lot tonight. So we have the trans train engine, and now the tanker of gender fluid. Well, this phone did die. It probably died. No, it's at 10%. It keeps warning me. All right, we have the engine, we have the tanker, and we have not 1 but 2. Come on, magnet. There we go. Lesbian car carrying, Subaru carrying cars. So this is a pretty awesome accomplishment. Oh, and this camera doesn't go far enough to see that. Just an awkward shot of my face. So we will go back to the build cam, but wow, thank you. Thank you. This has been an awesome continued progress. I'm very proud that we managed to get this far, to build this much. I feel like it's also going smoother and faster with this at least stream compared to the never-ending City Hall stream. But yeah, we got some solid progress there. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. This is good. I wondered how far we got, and we got all the way. And that is awesome. So, folks, once again, thank you for being here. It is always a delight to get to share with you and to have you really willing to put up with my rapid babbling and sharing. But it's always a pleasure, and it's so lovely to have you. So thank you, as always, for stopping by. I hope you will tune back in. I hope you'll get to see me again, but you also get to see all of the other awesome creators on the Transverse Network and all the other cool shows that we have. There's a bunch coming up, and I'll show a little flash of that so you can see. I think I got the right set of times. But you can always check back. You can always check the Discord in particular to see for sure what's coming up next. We don't usually stream on Thursdays. We encourage you to go watch our sister show, the Transvendors, when they're on. But we'll be back with Valkyries on Friday. All on the Table, I believe, on Saturday. I believe there might be a special show somewhere in the mix. I'm not quite sure, but I hope you'll get to tune in and catch it. And I can't wait in another 3 weeks when I'll be back here sharing with you whatever is next in the train. But yes, as always, you have been awesome. I have been Jess, and this has been The Builder's Block. I hope you go out there. I hope you get creating. I hope you keep building more things and building more goodness to put out in the world. And I can't wait to share with you and for you to share with me what it is that you're creating. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the week. Again, I'm going to put up the coming soon screen, and then I'm going to attempt to raid if my friend is indeed streaming. So if you don't mind hanging around just to see if I can even technically pull off a raid, which is its own question, that is much appreciated. Of course, not necessary, but always lovely. Now I'm kind of see if I can see where that was. Other channels you follow that are live is... Yes, Tara's live. All right, I'm going to try to raid Tara if you are with me. Mimi's streaming Thursday. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I knew there was something special, Cup. I just couldn't be sure what. That won't be on the coming up slide, but that's so cool. I'm sorry, Mimi. This is my own poor job in preparing and double checking what's coming up next. I just went off sort of the standard schedule, but please tune in to see Mimi. And tune in to Just Transverse, twitch.tv/thetransverse all the time. You'll probably always catch something cool happening. So I hope you'll come back. All right, I'm gonna do the coming up slide, and then we'll raid and see my friend Tara, who is non-binary. They have it's they them. They have multiple identities. Sometimes they're Tara, sometimes they're Lux, sometimes oh no, I'm blanking on their third identity. But yes, they are the trinity of amazingness. So we'll go see Tara streaming on Tara Pure Heart's channel. All right, thank you again. Bye everyone.